Here we have the new CIGMAN CM-S01, which CIGMAN kindly sent to me to review. Coming up, I'll put it through a few tests and comparisons to see how it performs. I must mention I'm under no script or obligation. I'm just going to test it out and give you my honest review and see how it performs in this cheaper price range compared to leading brands. So out of the box, it comes in this compact padded carry case, which looks nice and neat. And inside we have the laser itself with 3x360 degree green beam lasers. We'll get into the specs in a second. A mini swiveling tripod base, a standard L-shaped mounting bracket, a USB-C charging cable, a laser target plate, and our instructions manual. So, the laser, which is pretty small and compact, it has bright green beams, which are the standard these days, 3x360 degree class 2 lasers, a high accuracy of 1.5 millimeters plus or minus over 5 meters, the same as more expensive brands, 7 line switching modes, a maximum usage time of 56 hours on minimum or 12 hours on maximum light intensity, so that seems pretty impressive. USB-C rapid charging, it's Bluetooth app controlled, acting as the remote control, it's IP54 dust and splash proof. It has a working range of 30 meters and up to 50 meters with a receiver. Self-leveling mode calibrated within plus or minus 4 degrees. Stepless dimming, brightness adjustment. It has a pulse and manual modes to suit different needs and a 3-year warranty. So absolutely packed full of features. So far, so good. The swivel plate is quite neat with a little handle for adjustment with adjustable legs. It has a standard 1/4 inch thread for tripod mounting. The L-shaped mounting bracket is pretty standard with a magnet and screw fixings, but I'd say a bit basic compared to most. You can see here with the more expensive lasers, you lose that adjustment, which could become a bit annoying in some situations, but you could resolve that by adding the laser to a different mount with its universal attachment. The target plate is magnetic with a stand. You can use that for improved visibility and precise adjustment. The USB to USB-C cable is a rapid charging cable which plugs into the back here. The button functionality, I won't go into it too much. It's pretty standard. You have your lock and unlock switch on the side, your horizontal and vertical laser buttons, a battery indicator, and your multi-use power button. So it's pretty simple, which is good. Something that did surprise me to what I'm used to is the size of the kit. Compare it to my DeWalt laser here. I know they say the bigger the better, but it's pretty nice and compact with pretty much the same additions in the box, bar the DeWalt charging dock for its standalone battery. So it'd be interesting to see what the battery life is like on the CIGMAN. If it does what it says on the tin, then you'll definitely save some weight and space here. The DeWalt is a bit more heavier, I'd say a bit more chunky and sturdy. That's not to say it's a bad thing. The CIGMAN is small and nimble, quite the contrary if it does the job. The build quality is noticeable, but the real test will be when I get them out in the field and put them through their paces. And if you didn't know, I'm a ceramic tiler, so I have the perfect environment to try this laser out. For me, the accuracy, battery, laser visibility and ease of use are the most important things to me. So let's try a few of these things out. So here I've got a very big bright room. I'm using the DeWalt and CIGMAN lasers here to test floor levels around the room, using my yellow level to make the test even more harder for a green beam's visibility. With my level about 12 meters away from the lasers, at the top of the level is the DeWalt's line and at the bottom is the CIGMAN's. The DeWalt's is clearly easier to see at this distance. Now I know there is a caveat here as the DeWalt is not a 360 beam, but I'll show you the comparison between other 360 beam lasers in a second. So with both lasers on the floor here, both are not very good in this light with showing a floor beam. CIGMAN may be slightly better, but again the DeWalt clearly stands out on the white wall and ceiling a lot more than the CIGMAN, but the CIGMAN is still plenty visible. And as you can see here in a 10-meter test where you can still see the vertical and horizontal lines absolutely fine. And just bear in mind that this is a very bright room. All these lasers would perform much better in dimmer light conditions. Now let's bring in some more high-tier 360 lasers, and these results are a bit more surprising. Also, just to add that these all have full batteries with these tests. So here at a 10-meter distance, surprisingly, the most expensive Spectra is barely visible. The CIGMAN and the Hooper are pretty much the same, and the DeWalt once again is a lot brighter, but it's the only non-360 one here, so a good result still for the CIGMAN. For testing the accuracy, after marking the lines from the laser's front on, then turning them 180 degrees, you can test the accuracy, measuring the difference on the new lines from the back of the laser. The pencil marks are the original lines from the front, so all the lasers here perform to what they were specified. At close range, about a mil's difference, and at long range, about a 3mm variation. I was really impressed with the CIGMAN here. You can see it's very accurate at close range. The DeWalt was not able to perform the 180 test as it's a non-360, hence why its marks are dead accurate. So as accuracy goes, the CIGMAN hangs with the other brands absolutely fine, and I'd have no worries in that department at all. And just to show you the visibility of the CIGMAN in standard brightness, it's really nice and punchy as you can see here. You can see it projects around the walls and the ceiling and is absolutely fine. And the other lasers would be too. That's why it's good to try them in maximum brightness as a test, as this is the worst condition for laser levels. On to the battery life. I left the CIGMAN on for over a day and and a half on its full brightness intensity until it ran out of battery. That is over 12 hours and exactly what was specified, so that is a really impressive result. The DeWalt would have been in the charging dock way before that, and on that basis I'm sure the CIGMAN would last at least double that length on its medium brightness. You can see here it's got 2 bars, and that's from about 20 minutes of charging from flat. To not have a removable battery, the lasting time is pretty important, and it ticks all the boxes there. I used the CIGMAN all week in this bathroom and it was great. It performed very well. I used it mainly for my lines vertically and across the ceiling to match everything up, and it worked perfect. I didn't charge it once. I didn't have it on all day, but you never really do. But whenever I needed it, it was good to go. And as I said earlier, in normal light conditions, the green beam was very visible. Even on the lowest intensity, as you can see here, it's fine to see and it stands out very well. And you get your 56 hours of battery on that setting. The CIGMAN also comes with an app as a remote control, which is pretty simple to navigate. It's not something I'd really use, but I can see certain scenarios where it would come in quite useful for either turning the laser off if you can't get to it and adjusting lines from a far away distance. So to summarise, it's a great little laser. For its size and cost, you can't really go wrong. It's easy to carry around and set up. The visibility is on par with most other lasers. In extremely bright conditions, I feel it struggles a little bit compared to something like the DeWalt, as we saw earlier. The accuracy, which is one of the most important things, seems absolutely spot on, which for the price is amazing and does exactly what the specs say. For the ease of use, regards to size and weight and carryability, it's perfect. And that's why I've used it a lot this week, just because it's been a bit easier carrying to jobs of its size. Where there could be some improvements is on the default mounting L bracket. It's fine, but I'd expect a bit more easy adjustment for fine tuning. But you can solve this by adding a different mount or using a tripod. Also, the swiveling base it comes with is really neat for floor operation or mounting on a tripod. The actual operation of the laser is very simple, which is great. The battery seemed pretty powerful and I didn't have to really give it any thought. I just had to leave it on full intensity for a day and a half to actually run it out of juice. So very impressive there. So final verdict, overall I'd highly recommend it. For a budget price, it does exactly what you need it to. Like here, I'm already using it on my latest job with these hexagon tiles, using it to line everything up. And I can't see why I wouldn't continue to use it in all my bathrooms going forward, as it's quite nice to carry around with its size, especially when you're lugging a load of tools about. You want things light and small. The green beam is a standard these days, and to have a decent visible one at this price range is a big plus for the CIGMAN. So yeah, it does everything you'd need a laser level to do and makes a green beam more affordable at that price range. So thanks to CIGMAN for letting me try it out. I'll leave some links in the description on where you can purchase it from, and I'll update any discount codes that are currently available. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.